Welcome to the Daily Jing for April 12th, Friday. This is the Friday before you hand in the final draft of your uh, familiar essay 1, the third essay of the course. And if you're still interested in my comments on your paper, please go to your draft that I commented on and put some questions or replies to my comments in there, and I will go in and we can have a conversation about what you're doing in your paper. So do that today and tomorrow. Tomorrow, Saturday, is the last day that you can do that. And then the paper is due on Monday, as is the view and dues for this particular assignment. So one of the things that I want you to concentrate on here when you revise the paper is to do something with structure. I'm interested in you working with scenes, and really the easiest structural motif that I can imagine for these essays is a kind of a segmented structure where you write from scene to scene. So in each scene you go through a process of setting up the scene, walking in the door, basically. Walking in the door, and then something happens in the scene. You interact with somebody, you do something basically, and then you reflect on it. And then you end that scene and you put in a double line break or a pair, 3 or 4 asterisks or whatever, and you go to the next scene. Set it up in some way, and think about these as a video camera or as a regular camera, it doesn't matter, where the setup is kind of the long view of it. And then what you do when you get into the scene is you focus, you draw into a particular set of actions, whatever it is, and you produce a lot of detail, within that kind of action. And you do this kind of voiceover where you talk about what you're doing as you're doing it. And these scenes, which are separated by double line breaks or 3 asterisks or whatever you want to separate them with, should be progressive. You should talk about your condition or behavior in one way, and then in the next scene take that information and build on it and talk about it in another way, and so forth and so on, so that by the end you have a kind of an accumulation of ideas. Not that you have a solution to your condition. This isn't a self-help essay. We just want to know how you live your life, what's going on in your head when you do these kinds of things, and we want the details of it. We want you talking about them as you do them. We don't want you to stand away from it. Back to this camera analogy, most of you in the first draft were standing way away from what you were doing. You can start out that way, but you have to zoom in to the details, to what you're doing, who you're talking to, the action of the scene, and what you think about it, the reflection. Okay? All right, so do that. So the question of the day is, when is this all due? It's due Monday at 6 a.m. Thanks.